I'm just going to finish potting up the syringe. I've got some, I'm going to put these sunflowers out. They're so big. I need to sort of separate them. It's really warm today. I've got a water under here of these ranunculus, and I'm going to empty this bed out of these foxgloves and the bascum because I want to use this bed for something. I want to fill it the level back up and use it for something else. But I also just want to show you, look at this. That's my tree peony. It's only got one flower, but better than none. And then I've got all these, and my persicaria is starting to bud up now. Got a few buds on there. So really nice succession of Purissima tulips, then Queen of the Night, and then these parrot tulips. I've got the Honesty now flowering in different spots here, and then it branches as well and sort of gets taller as it flowers. It's really pretty. So I'm just going to potter today to catch up on planting out and hardening things off, and just, yeah, I've got to catch up with all these, so lots to do. So let's crack on. So I'm going to start with this pot, which I was going to plant my delphiniums in, or a delphinium in, but I changed my mind because the pot being black, I thought it would get too hot. So I'm going to put sunflowers in here, and then some mid-level, probably some yarrow also. So the two plants remaining in there are white valerian, and I stripped out obviously the remainder of the weeds, loosened up the surface of the soil and enriched it with some fresh compost for more nutrients. And then these were the sunflowers, and I must admit, after I planted these out, they did go a little bit. I left them too long because I had to go and take my daughter somewhere, and I left them out with their roots exposed, and they did wilt a bit. So I'm hoping they're going to be all right. But I put them obviously in the centre where they're going to grow tall, in the centre of the, in between the valerian, and then of course I can use the bamboo teepee to hold them up as they get taller. I can sort of tie them in as they get taller. As usual, I have no idea how this is going to turn out because I do like to experiment with my pots. I don't like to just go to the garden centre, buy everything brand new and matching colours. I like to experiment to see what looks go well together. Then I'm just going to re-jazz up the string which was broken at the base of this bamboo cane, and then that will help hold these sunflowers up, which it turns out is a good idea because we had a gale last night and a big thunderstorm. And this other one is the yarrow love parade that I've been overwintering. So this is hopefully mid-level height. So again, I'll have the valerian billowing at the bottom, although that's quite tall too. Then I should have the yarrow hopefully bulking up and growing bigger, and then the sunflowers towering above that. So the valerian and the yarrow are perennials, so as they get too big for this pot, I'll have to move them, but they will live in this pot for now, for this season. Of course, the sunflowers are annuals, so they won't grow again. The sunflower, the sunflowers that you've seen me planting up here, I just took the whole sunflower head, which I found in the garden, put it upside down into a tray of soil, and that is exactly how they grew. I did no more to it than that. So I'm not sure whether these sunflowers are going to be robust enough. And as I say, we had a storm directly after I did this video, and I'll show you an update video of how they're all doing. But it was absolute chaos last night, and still is today, funnily enough. So there we go. Anyway, there we are, watered in position, because this is going to be my new pot area here. And now I have to just plant the rest of them out before they carry on wilting, as I said. So here I decided I wanted to widen the borders of these new borders that I put in last in the winter, just gone. And I just decided they were too narrow when I was looking at them. So I sort of started to widen them, but I didn't want to make a big job of just taking a couple of days to widen them. I thought I'm just going to widen them as and when I plant things out to give them a more natural look. But also, I'm just really bored of landscaping right now. So I just want to get things planted out
So I'm just going to widen them as and when I need the space. I saved the turf because I'm going to use that for my worn out pathways, and then obviously I enriched this new area here just by a bamboo cane where I've got lots and lots of sweet peas growing. And in here I'm going to plant my overwintered pink cornflowers. So I have some, no sorry, these were not overwintered, these were planted spring. The black ones that I overwintered I've already planted out. So they are a little bit ahead of my pink ones, but my pink ones are still going great. So here they are. They always look a bit sort of straggly, but they should be fine. And I'll plant quite a few here, and then if I do lose any, I'll still have a good display in this small patch just in front of the sweet peas, which will sort of rise above them. And then I protected the newly planted stems with my bamboo canes just to stop the dogs and the cats sort of trampling over them. There's nothing like the cat likes more than a bit of newly turned over soil, so I knew I was going to have to protect them. And then I used the turf that I had dug up from the side of the borders, because obviously where I haven't walked along the side of the borders, the turf is so much better there. And as I'm widening the borders, I can replace that turf now into the main pathways. And it was so impacted from the winter, from all the rain, and we had another ton last night straight after I planted this video. It was absolutely gushing down the road. It was incredible. And because the water table is so high, that's my main worry. But anyhow, it was fine. I then enriched this soil here, trying to break it up with a bit more of my homemade compost from my driveway where I have 2 compost heaps. And then I just sort of tucked the turf in to these spots here, and I'll just keep doing that because I know I want to widen more parts of the border, and I'll just sort of steal the turf from the edges of the borders where it's not worn out and replace it into the centre of the pathways, and hopefully they'll take. But I actually can see that the grass is already making a comeback, so I am heartened that I wasn't tempted to throw gravel down, because as I said, I did want grass between these borders. It's better for the biodiversity of the garden. I do like the gravel, but I do want some grass in the garden. So I did want to preserve the grass, and it's been difficult to try and resist the temptation to just throw some gravel down here. And I'm glad I did, because as I said, I can see the grass growing back now.
It's kind of already repairing itself there.
As you can see here, it's making a comeback on this path. And then I'm just going to plug these sort of gaps here. But look at the drainage. You can see where the water just sits there. So it's just the water table is so high. I've never really had puddles like this in my garden before. But anyhow, the summer will dry it out, I'm sure. All right, so then I just wanted to plant up the rest of these sunflowers, which were already wilting from being out so long unattended while I did a domestic family task. So where the sweet peas hadn't taken very well in this bamboo teepee, I decided I could use this as a cage to start the sunflowers growing to their next stage. So I could start them in here, put a few in here, and they could grow, and I don't think they'll outgrow this space because I can always weave their heads outside of this cage. I just wanted them to be protected while they were growing a bit taller and stronger. And also the bamboo cage, of course, will help support them. And then I dotted some more around the garden, but I thought I'd just show you a little ladybird shot rather than my more planting of sunflowers that were a bit wilted. And then the final job for me was to take this cover off the Ranunculus and water them, because it's probably been about a week since they've been watered. I'm still convinced that the water table being so high is probably sort of watering them anyway from underneath, but you know, I don't want to take any chances. Ranunculus do not like to get hot and dry, so it was no skin off my nose to add a bit more water. And then that was it. I didn't finish the raised bed. I'm going to do that in my next video. Maybe I should ask for suggestions as to what to plant there, but for now I'm just going to quickly show you how everything looks after the storm that we had last night.
Also,
So not too bad in the container, but as you can see, you can hear the wind. See the roses there. Look at this tree peony while I'm just doing an update. It hasn't quite fully opened yet, but very nice. Right, let's go and have a look at the sunflowers down here, because they were a bit battered. And the grass there, plug-in, the dog has just walked over. I could do with flattening that down a bit, it's a bit lumpy. Oh, how's this happened here? Oh, look at this. Oh, how strange. Well, what a mystery. 3 completely severed tulips. So does anybody know what causes that? Wow. Maybe it was just the wind. Anyhow, oh, look how bashed they are. So I'm going to put them, I'm going to put a bamboo cane in there and tie them up so that they are not, I mean, it has been awful. And they did not stand a chance. It was a really bad day to put them straight out from the greenhouse, really. There's another one I planted in this pot, look, fallen over. So I'm going to tie those up and then that'll be that, and we'll see how they get on. What do you think caused this? Would that just have been the wind? Look. Could they just snap like that in the wind? If you know, please let me know in the comments. I look forward to your theories. Thanks for watching. Bye.